Hey everybody, John Ploskina here. And I saw that Sean Hannity is going to be interviewing Julian Assange tomorrow night at 10 o'clock. And I'm excited to watch it. I hope that there's some new information. Already there's been a clip released where Julian Assange again reiterates that it was not some nefarious Russian hacker who was their source, but some other source, apparently somebody inside the Democratic Party, maybe Seth Rich. He hinted maybe before that it could have been Seth Rich, but no further information has been forthcoming. So the obvious question for people who've been following my channel is, will I accept this as proof of life for Julian Assange? And for myself, I will actually. In fact, I was watching the clip that came out and I was pleasantly surprised. It really did look like him. He seems to be okay. So I hope that he wasn't, he doesn't seem to be dead. He doesn't seem to be in custody. I hope that he wasn't taken to some terrifying secret government facility and tortured half to death and then brought out as a brainwashed puppet. But I don't think so. I think that it is easy to overestimate the abilities of the enemy. There's this myth of government hyper-competence. And I don't have enough faith in the ruling class to believe that they genuinely have the capacity to completely fake an appearance from Julian Assange. And if they do, if they can just put completely phony human beings on TV, and it just can't be spotted at all for any reason, then we can't really derive any information from the mass media whatsoever. Then it may be a lost cause if we've reached that point. But I don't think we have, because look at technology like what they're doing in Star Wars Rogue One. It doesn't really look all that convincing, does it? I don't think that we have the capability to have just perfect computer-generated imagery of other people. Now, I know that after the interview with John Pilger, right after the election, some people have, or right up leading to the election, some people have analyzed that video and they've found some scenes where there was a transition occurring of some kind, or where there was this weird morph effect. And yeah, those were jump cuts. They'd actually edited down Julian Assange's his dialogue, because he does have a tendency to kind of ramble on in a boring fashion. And maybe that's just his accent. Maybe it's just because he has an accent, and because I'm American, I perceive him that way, but I don't think so. He does have a tendency to just kind of ramble on, and but you know, whatever. To be fair, I'm not mocking Julian Assange or anything. It's just that that's what they were doing. They were doing jump cuts and they tried to hide them. And I don't think that this is one of those cases where we need to be too paranoid by half as consumers of this information. Now, let me tell you a little bit about what could make me seem suspicious. Well, first of all, let me say that as consumers of the information, if I were considering leaking classified information myself, I still only feel mostly sure that Wikileaks is safe. If I was planning on risking my life leaking classified government documents to WikiLeaks, I would do some very careful thought and research and maybe leak somewhere else, just because who knows? You never know. When I'm putting my own life on the line, I'm going to be a little bit more cautious than if I'm just reading things on the internet. But I want to take a minute to talk about what I'm going to look for from here, and that is, I want to see what else WikiLeaks starts to release. If WikiLeaks from here on out continues to release information that's embarrassing to the establishment, then I'm willing to say, at that point, when he releases new information that's embarrassing to the establishment, that is when I would say definitively that WikiLeaks hasn't been compromised. Because from here on out, for example, if WikiLeaks does a radical 180-degree turn and all they ever do is bash Donald Trump, then I'm going to say, well, you know, maybe they have been compromised. There's really no way to know. But if things continue in the vein that they have been, if WikiLeaks continues to put out information that's embarrassing to established political leaders, in addition to people in the new populist movement, because of course they're welcome to publish leaks about Trump or anybody, I want to see it all. But we can analyze the content of the leaks as time goes on and also be able to draw an opinion one way or the other. But I think for now, with having had multiple journalists confirm that they've spoken with Julian Assange recently, having had a British ambassador confirm that he's spoken with Julian Assange recently, and now having video evidence of him being alive and having a conversation with Sean Hannity, I'm willing to say that for now, I'll change my... I'm not going to change my position exactly. My position has always been that there has been a really good case to make that he is dead and or that WikiLeaks has been compromised. And now I'm going to say that that case doesn't seem as strong with recent developments. So yeah, I just didn't want to leave all that hanging out there because I had talked at length about how I thought there was a really good chance that Julian Assange was dead or that WikiLeaks had been compromised, and I wanted to address that briefly. So thanks for listening, as always. It's a harsh world out there, my friends. Keep thinking. Bye-bye.